Good afternoon, students. Welcome back to chemistry class. Today we are going to study about electronegativity, one of the periodic property, physical property of the periodic elements. This is the fifth property. Already we have learned the atomic radius, ionic radius, and ionization energy, electron affinity. We completed. Today we are going to study about electronegativity. Listen carefully. Take notes. And take more and more written practice every day. Okay. Electronegativity. What do you mean by electronegativity? I consider one of the example, the formation of covalent bond between two similar atoms of a molecule like hydrogen. Hydrogen molecule. This is hydrogen. The hydrogen molecule have formed the similar atoms combine in a covalently bonded to form the hydrogen molecule. Okay, two hydrogen atom covalently bonded to form the hydrogen molecule. Okay, so here how the hydrogen atom is formed. What do you mean by covalent bond? Covalently bonded means, what do you mean by covalent bond? The bond formed between the two atoms by mutual sharing of pair of electrons between two atoms. Okay, we know the how mutual sharing how takes place here. The hydrogen atom, only one electron, and another hydrogen atom have only one electron. Okay, so each hydrogen atom need one more electron to get the stable duet configuration. Okay, understood? So here this hydrogen atom share this electron to this hydrogen atom, and also this hydrogen atom share this electron to this hydrogen atom. Okay, so mutual sharing a pair of electron to form the hydrogen one of the bond that is called covalent bond. Okay, in this molecule, the electron pair participating in the formation of a covalent bond is shared equally by both hydrogen atoms. That is, the electron pair lies exactly in the center of the molecule. We know this bond is formed by the electron pair between these two hydrogen atoms. But here there is the electron pair. Actually, the electron pair also exactly in the center of the molecule. Okay, center of the molecule having the electron pair. But on the other hand, another one example, the formation of covalent bond between two dissimilar atoms like the hydrogen chlorine molecule, hydrochloric acid molecule, hydrogen and chloride molecule. In this molecule, the electron pair participating in the formation of covalent bond is not shared equally by the two atoms. Okay, so there is hydrogen and chlorine. The electron pair lies near to chlorine atoms than the hydrogen atom. Okay, here when the bond formed between the two atoms by covalently. Okay, because the covalent bond means sharing. Okay, here hydrogen atom only one electron, chlorine atom 7 electron. Okay, outermost electron, chlorine atom 7, we know. So how the bond is formed? The hydrogen atom give this one electron to this chlorine atom, and chlorine atom give this one electron to the hydrogen atom. So by these two electron combined to form the one of the bond that is called the covalent bond. Okay, so one bond contains two electrons. Okay, one bond contains two electrons, but here the electron pair, these two electrons are lies, the two electron, it is lies near the chlorine atom. Okay, the electron pair lies near to chlorine atom than to hydrogen atom. This electron pair, it lies near to chlorine atom than hydrogen atom. Why? What is the reason for this? The unequal sharing of pair of electrons given by saying that chlorine atom has a greater tendency than hydrogen atom to attract the electron pair shared between them towards itself. Okay, chlorine atom has the tendency to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself, between them towards itself. Okay, than hydrogen atom. Okay, hydrogen atom, it is the less electronegative atom. So the hydrogen atom, the chlorine atom attracts these two electrons towards itself, attracts this shared pair of electron attract towards itself. Okay, so it form the chloride ion, and hydrogen atom form the H plus ion. Okay, so in this molecule we know chlorine, it is one of the most electronegative atom. So electronegativity means, what do you mean by electronegativity? Means the relative tendency of an element present in a covalently bonded molecule to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Okay, to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. So the electronegativity is not a measured quantity. However, a number of scales are available to calculate its value. Number of scale is available to calculate the electronegativity value. One such method was developed by Pauling. Okay. Now we are several methods are having, but we are following only one method, that is Pauling method. Okay, Pauling method. The Pauling, he assigned the arbitrary value, the approximately value only given by the Pauling. Okay, that is we called as the Pauling scale. Only approximately electronegative value is given. Okay, not correct value given. Okay, so the electronegativity of depend upon the Pauling scale, the electronegativity of hydrogen and fluorine. Okay, when we are taking hydrogen and fluorine, the electronegativity of hydrogen 2.1 and fluorine 4. Okay, so the fluorine has the most electronegative. The fluorine is one of the most electronegative atom than other element. Okay, in the periodic table, all other element, fluorine is the one of the most electronegative atom. Very, very important question. One more question. The fluorine is the most electronegative atom. Okay, so it always attracts the electron towards itself. Okay, so calculate the electronegativity of other elements. Given one of the formula, chi A minus chi B. That is the difference between the two electronegativity of two atoms. That is chi A and chi B is equal to 0.182. Chi A and chi B is equal to 0.182 root of EAB minus EAA into EBB half square. Okay, it means that it is one of the another one square root having here. Okay, so the where here EAB, EAA and EBB. What is the meaning here? This is the bond dissociation energy of AB, A2 and B2 molecule. Okay, here we are taking the EAA and EBB, that is the bond dissociation energy. What do you mean by bond dissociation energy? The energy will be given to dissociate the bond. Okay, to dissociate the bond to produce the single isolated neutral atoms. Okay, understood. These are about the electronegativity. The electronegativity of any given element, it is not constant, and its value depend upon the element to which it is covalently bonded. So certain values given to the all elements, but it's not constant value. The electronegativity value, it depends upon the element to which it is covalently bounded. Okay, covalently bound element to which element covalently bonded with each other. Okay, consider that molecule, the electronegativity value differ. Okay, so the electronegativity value, it is important to predict the nature of bonding. Bonding means that is ionic bond or covalent bond or coordinate covalent bond. Okay, so the electronegativity value, it used to predict the nature of bond, which type of bond is having which studied in your 10th standard, you clearly studied about that, how the electronegativity value vary with the different atoms. Okay, these are about electronegativity. So what do you mean by electronegativity? Important question, 2-mark question. Electronegativity, it is defined as the relative tendency of an element, ability of an element present in a covalently bonded molecule to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Okay, understood? These are about the electronegativity. And the electronegativity value, how the electronegativity value vary along periods and along groups. Okay, how the electronegativity value varies along periods and along groups. Generally, the electronegativity values increase across a period from left to right. When we are moving to left to right, the electronegativity values generally increase. Okay, for example, we discussed earlier that the atomic radius decreases in a period. When we are moving from left to right, the atomic radius decreases. When atomic radius decreases, the attraction between the valence electron and the nucleus increases. Okay, so when atomic radius decreases, the nucleus, greater nuclear force is there. So nuclear charge will be increased. So the nucleus tends to pull the outer electron towards itself. Hence the atomic radius decrease. Okay, so it has tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons increases from when we are moving from left to right. Okay, therefore the electronegativity also increases in a period. Okay, one of the graph is given. There is the electronegativity of second period element: lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine. Okay, this is the, from this graph we come to know about that the electronegativity increase when moving from left to right in a period. Okay, and how the electronegativity vary in a group. How the electronegativity vary in a group. This is the graph, one of the graph given. The variation of electronegativity along the first group. Okay, first group, that is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Okay, this is the electronegativity values. Lithium 1.0 and sodium 0.9. Okay, and potassium 0.8, rubidium and 0.8 and cesium 0.8. This is the decreasing order of electronegative value. So from this we can learn about that when we are moving from left to right in a period, electronegative values increases. When we are moving down a group, electronegativity value gradually decrease. But some group means the noble gases. Okay, noble gases are assigned zero electronegativity. We know noble gases have the stable electronic configuration: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the noble gases. These noble gases has the stable electronic configuration. Okay, so it no need to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Okay, so it can exist in free state, no ionization energy, no electroaffinity value and no electronegative value. Okay, electronegative value will be zero for the noble gases only. In the 18th group elements, that is called noble gases. For the noble gases, electronegativity value 0. And some S block element, we know the electronegative value gradually decrease, and all other groups electronegativity value gradually decrease because the atomic size increase along the group. Atomic size increase. So the when atomic size increase, the nuclear force of attraction decrease, so the electronegativity gradually decrease. But in the case of the 13th group and 14th group elements, when we are, this is the 13th group elements: boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and gallium. And 13th group, 14th group: carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. These 13th and 14th group elements, the electronegative value decrease. Okay, so all other p block elements are electronegative value from moving down a group increase, but in the case of 13th and 14th group element only, electronegative value decrease. Okay, so for the boron 2.0, aluminum decrease 1.5, but germanium gallium 1.6 decrease. Okay, indium 1.7, it increased than gallium. Okay, thallium 1 point, it increased than indium. Because what is the reason for this increasing for this 13th and 14th group only? Because the electrons, it added to the screening effect there. The 13th group and 14th group elements, the screening effect, it is low. Okay, so electronic the nuclear force will be high between to the outermost electrons, so it tends to pull the electrons towards itself. So these group only, for 13th and 14th group elements only, high electronegative value compared to other p block or s block or d block elements. Understood? So these are about the electronegativity, variation of electronegativity along the groups. Understood? Okay, that's all about the periodic trends in properties or physical properties of the elements along the periods and groups we studied clearly. Just once I recall, whatever the periodic properties are studied, we studied atomic radius, ionic radius, ionization energy, electronegativity, electron affinity and electronegativity. Okay, what do you mean by atomic radius? Atomic radius, the distance between the center of its nucleus and the outermost shell containing the valence electron, that is called atomic radius. Atomic radius may be referred to as covalent radius or antimetallic radius. Understood? And then the ionic radius means, what do you mean by ionic radius? It is defined as the distance between the center of the nucleus of the ion up to which it exerts its influence on the electron cloud of the ion. Okay, and then ionization energy defined as the minimum amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from the valence shell of the isolated neutral gaseous atom in its ground state. That is about the ionization energy. Electron affinity means the minimum amount of energy, the amount of energy released when an electron is added to the valence shell. Okay, so the when electron removing it, we should give the energy to remove the electron from the outermost orbit. We should give the energy, that is called ionization energy. When electron added to the electrons, when electron added to the orbitals, the electron and the amount of energy released. Okay, these are about the electron affinity and ionization energy. What do you mean by electronegativity? Means the tendency of element present in a covalently bonded molecule to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. That is called electronegativity. So what are the periodic trends and properties along the periods and group? Atomic radius, we know along the periods atomic radius will be decreased because the atomic number increases, but all the extra electrons will be added to the same shell. Because of this, the nuclear force is high. So the nucleus it tends to pull the electrons very closely towards itself. Okay, for this is because the atomic size will be decreased along the periods. Okay, so in the case of along the groups, the atomic radii will be increased because atomic number increases, but atomic number increases, number of shells also increases, the extra electron accommodated in a new shells. Okay, so because of this the atomic size will be increased. Okay, so second, ionic radius and ionic size, that is also the ionic radius when we are moving from left to right, ionic size also decrease. When we are moving from down a group, ionic radius will be high. Okay, and what do you mean by ionization energy? Ionization energy, there is also, when we are moving from left to right, ionization energy will be decrease, but when we are moving from top to bottom, ionization energy will be increase. Okay, but certain cases, certain some nitrogen, beryllium, oxygen, nitrogen, there is some stable electronic configuration elements, only ionization energy will be low along the periods we studied. And electron often like that, it is not systematic way. Electron affinity, it is not a systematic in the case of ionization energy, because here as we move from left to right, as we move from left to right in a periods, certain elements, that is beryllium and nitrogen has the zero electron affinity, and fluorine has the very low electron affinity. Okay, these are about the along the periods and along the groups gradually, and electron affinity will be decrease. Okay, for electronegativity value, along the periods electronegativity value increase, along the groups electronegativity value decrease, but some the 13th group and 14th group elements only, along the when we are moving down a group, some elements only increasing. Okay, these are about the periodic trends in physical properties. Then we are going to study about periodic trends in chemical properties. Okay, in next class we will study the periodic trends in chemical properties. Okay, chemical properties and periodic trends. What are the chemical properties are there? Valence or oxidation states, and then anomalous properties or second period elements, and periodic trends in reactivity. Okay, this all we will study next class. So today your assignment, all the 5 properties definition you should study. Question number 1, what is electronegativity? What is electronegativity? Question number 2, electron affinity. Question number 3, what is ionization energy? That is abbreviated as IE. And fourth question, what is ionic radius? And fifth question, what is atomic radius and covalent radius? What is atomic radius and covalent radius? Very important question. These 5 properties you should study properly, and all the variation in groups and periods you should read and understand what we have learned. Once again, okay, this is important for your further studies, very important. Okay, so if you have book, take your book now. I will mark the question. Already I marked the questions. Once again I will mark. All of you should study and should write the assignment. Okay, very few students only nowadays are writing assignment. Others didn't write. What happened, I don't know. But students, this is precious time to study. Don't waste your time. Study very well. More and more take written practice. Very helpful for you. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, take your book now. Okay, students, if you have book, take your book now. Already I have marked the questions. Once again I will mark. What do you mean by atomic radius and covalent radius? Fifth question. Atomic radius of an atom is defined as the distance between the center of its nucleus and the outermost shell containing the valence electron. Atomic radius of an atom is defined as the distance between the center of its nucleus and the outermost shell containing the valence electron. And about the covalent radius, the same page, the first paragraph, it is 1/2 of the internuclear distance between two identical atoms linked together by a single covalent bond. Covalent radius defined as the 1/2 of the internuclear distance between two identical atoms linked together by a single covalent bond. Very, very important study. And what about the fourth question? What is ionic radius? Page number 83. Ionic radius, page number 83. Take now. It is defined as the distance from the center of the nucleus of the ion up to which it exerts its influence on the electron cloud of the ion. It is defined as the distance from the center of the nucleus of the ion up to which it exerts its influence on the electron cloud of the ion. Up to here you mark. Then third question, what is ionization energy or ionization enthalpy? Page number 84. Page number 84, last paragraph. It is defined as the minimum amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from the valence shell of the isolated neutral gaseous atom in its ground state. What do you mean by ionization energy? The minimum amount of energy. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the most loosely bound electron from the valence shell of the isolated neutral gaseous atom in its ground state. Up to here you mark. And question number 2, what is electron affinity? It is defined as the amount of energy released when an electron is added to the valence shell of an isolated neutral gaseous atom in its ground state to form its anion. What do you mean by electron affinity? The amount of energy released. Amount of energy released when an electron is added to the valence shell of an isolated neutral gaseous atom in its ground state to form its anion. This is called electron affinity. Okay. And what is the first question? Very, very important. Electronegativity. Very, very important. Page number 87. Page number 87. It is defined as the relative tendency of an element present in a covalently bonded molecule to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Okay. What do you mean by electronegativity? It is defined as the relative tendency of an element present in a covalently bonded molecule to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. Okay. Up to here you mark. Study well. Very, very important. Don't waste time. Very few students only daily studying and writing and sending the assignment. Others, I don't know what about others, what happened others, I don't know. Okay, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. This is your precious time. Don't waste. Study well. Okay, this is very helpful your further studies. Please understand what about the concept. This is very useful to your other further chapters. for the 12th standard chemistry. This is the basic things you have to learn clearly about these chapters. Okay, thank you all of you.